Within your HTML document, you're also able to add this style attribute. Now, we had briefly looked at this earlier, and style, essentially what that is that's CSS. So it gives you the ability to align the content, and we literally have a whole ton of information here. So we can add a border, we can do solid border, we can do a color to it, and then we can just do a width of it as well. So we're just going to do and this gives us the ability to add in CSS right in line with our HTML code. So basically what we've done here around this div, we've created a border, a solid border. It's I guess a reddish border with 1 pixel in width. We can also change this pixel to make it wider, and when we refresh our page, we see that in fact, indeed, our border has been added. And if you look here, it has a whole bunch of white space that's here, and this goes to what we were talking about earlier about these divs being blocks, and a block essentially takes up that whole space, so it doesn't allow that inline content to be pushed right next to it. So it has actually taken up all that space, and that's why this border goes all the way over to the right hand side, effectively taking up all the space that's available on the web page. And there are literally a whole bunch of things that you can do with style, and if you want to add style to one of these inline elements, you can do something like style. So we looked at borders, and maybe here we want to do font size, and we want to make this font really big, so font size 18. And essentially, if you are familiar with CSS, this is CSS that we're doing here, but we're adding it inline within our elements, right within the HTML code. So again, style, and maybe we'll do a few more here. So the style options, and that's one of the good things about Dreamweaver, and I believe Notepad has the drop down as well, where you can drop down and you can see all of this, these options for the attributes. So this one, we're just going to do background. So we're going to set a background color for this one, and we're going to make it blue. So that's going to really stand out there. And also, we're going to add an additional one. So we're just going to do color. And color is just going to set the color of the text. So if that's blue, we want to make the text white. And save that. So as you can see here within style, just like CSS, I can add several different styles, and just like CSS, so the format and the coding is the same as it is within CSS, but we're just adding it inline here within that element within the HTML. So back when I go out here and I refresh it, you can see that this text is big. We've got that red border, and then here we've got that blue background with that white lettering. And I just brought in that href. So a common one for hyperlinks is to do some styling. So when I refresh it, I can see here that by default this is what our hyperlink looks like. So if I really want to change that, I don't like these underlines. Again, I can do it with style. I can do style equals text decoration, and here I'm just going to do none. And this is going to remove out that underline that we have by default within hyperlinks, and we see that there it just gets removed. So yeah, there's quite a bit you can do with style, and we're going to get more into that later on about the different coding, because essentially this is CSS, and some of these were more of the common used CSS that you'd find within HTML. So styling, again, gives you that ability to do that styling for different elements, specific elements within your HTML code.